Yo, what is up, fucking YouTube? Today we're gonna be testing our entire bodies, our mind, our ears, our sight, our everything. Today we are going to be watching the videos. Let's start the live. Let's get some motherfuckers in here. Dude. Why do I feel like it's gonna be a good fucking stream, bro? I feel a really good stream coming on. I feel a really good stream going on right now, bud. Come on, bro. Who's excited, bro? Who's excited, dude? Who's excited, dude? Is this better? Nah. Yo, what up, bro? Brady, boy. Let me turn down my lighting, bro. We're about to get into the video, bro. We're about to get straight into the freaking videos, brother. Today we're going to be testing our sight, our ears, our entire body, brother. Yeah. We're going to be watching our entire bodies. When can we make a song together? Brady, I don't know, buddy. I have not been to Indiana in a long time. I do need to get to Indiana, though, because I have a podcast with your dad I need to get done. A couple podcasts, actually. Definitely need to go to Indiana soon. Definitely. Let's go. Can you trust your ears?
Many of us have become quick to catch illusions that trick our eyes, but how often do you consider illusions of the ear? Are you really able to trust your ears and the
Hold on now. This is that brand new fucking slump tea, bro. Wait till that shit drop.
things they hear? For example, listen to Greg speaking.
Bar.
Yeah, alright.
Bar.
I got bar.
What do you hear? If you heard bar, 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 you'd be right. But
yeah,
how about
let's
now?
Go.
Bar.
Far.
Chances
Alright,
are you heard far, far, far this time with
Yes.
an F, except you didn't. In fact,
What do
the
you-
audio didn't even change between
What?
the two videos.
Bar.
Strange as it may seem, what you hear depends on which video
No
you're
way,
looking
though.
at.
Does it actually work like that? Is that what placebo is? Is that what people, when they talk about placebo effect, did I just get placeboed? Look at this. It's the same.
May seem, what you hear depends on which video you're looking at. Go ahead,
Brother.
take turns watching each video and see how the sound morphs.
Bar.
This is a perfect example of something called
It does. The sound is the same.
the McGurk effect, which shows how our
So it's not placebo.
visuals can alter what we believe we're hearing. Now I want you to count how many times you see a circle flash on screen. Let's do that one more time. Did you see it flash twice?
Yep.
Many people do, yet
Yep.
without the sound, it becomes clear that the circle is only flashing once.
Once.
In this case, the sound has altered your perceived vision. The
Damn
next
it,
one
it
works best.
happened
Oh,
again. It
listen-
got me twice.
Listen to this. Which was it? How about this one? Write down what you heard for each number and let us know in the comments. Chances are, if you compare with enough people, you'll
What?
all have different answers.
High, low.
Surprising? Try some more.
That was high
And this
low.
one. How is it possible that you're
High,
hearing
low.
something different from others? It's an auditory illusion called the tritone paradox. It's created in such a way that the tones contain both a higher and lower frequency in them, but our brains have a preference of which to listen to.
No.
Diana Deutsch, the creator of this illusion, found that your geography and language from infancy all play a role in deciding this preference. Finally,
way.
listen to this audio clip of a gradually climbing tune. And yet, if I play the exact same clip back to you, it will sound like it's only continuing to climb higher
Yo,
and higher.
what up, CJ? Sorry, bro.
I swear this is the
exact
exact same clip I just played. You can rewind that section of this video over and over and check for yourself.
No, I will,
Exact same
because I
clip I
will.
just played. You can rewind that section of its preference. Finally, listen to this audio clip of
There's
a gradually
There's
climbing
no way that's the same thing.
tune. And yet, if I play the exact same clip back to you, it will sound like it's only continuing to climb higher and higher. I swear this is the exact same clip I just played. You can rewind
No,
that
it's
section of this
not.
video over and over and check for yourself. Try it. Each time you start it over, the tune is seemingly...
There's no way that's the exact same video.
And yet, if I play the exact... And yet, if I play the exact same clip back to you, it will sound like it's only continuing to climb higher and higher. I swear this is the exact same...
That's the same clip. No, hold on. That's the same fucking clip. Brady, you want a t-shirt? Yes, they're going to go on sale soon. But that's the same fucking clip.
I just played. You can rewind that section of this video over and over and check for yourself. Try it. Each time you start it over, the tune is...
Bro, I just replayed it twice. It's the same clip.
Seemingly climbing even higher. It's called the shepherd tone illusion, of which there are many variations. In it, multiple sine waves are played on top of one another, raising in pitch.
Hey, what's going on?
While one quickly drops down an octave as the others continue rising. But our brain doesn't notice this drop, and so the clips sound like they're rising forever.
No
These illusions
way,
may help
bro.
to explain how something like music can have such a profound yet varying effect on our minds.
It's already got me so many times.
Which we discuss in our New ASAP Thought episode here, along with the question of whether or not music can save your life.
Yes, 100%.
There's a link in the description to watch it. So, do you still trust your ears?
No, hold on. Hold on. We already got the
Not
next
a
one.
burning
Look, we already got the next one. Guys, just wait.
Jerk. You're drifting off.
First off, I hit Nick Jerk too. Probably not the same thing he's about to say.
Everything is quiet. And then your entire body slams awake like you just missed a step
Absolutely,
on a
by the way.
staircase. That's a hypnic jerk. And it happens to around 70% of people. Which means it's not a problem. It's just your brain being weird during the transition from...
Have you ever done that though? Have you ever like been asleep and then felt like you were falling from the fucking sky? And you just woke up and you're just like, oh, okay, I was asleep.
wakefulness to sleep. Here's what's actually happening. As you fall asleep, your muscles begin to relax. Your brain, which is also powering down, sometimes misreads that sudden loss of muscle tone as falling. So it fires a jolt of electricity through your body to catch you. Emergency response. Completely
So you're not actually dying? Because I always feel like that's like me jumping out of my sleep is like me saving my own life.
unnecessary. Some researchers think it's an evolutionary leftover from when our ancestors slept in trees. A sudden drop in muscle tension while up high
I need to hit a dab while we watch this, low-key.
would have been genuinely dangerous. The jerk kept them from falling out. Your bed is on the ground. Your brain didn't get the memo. Stress, caffeine, and sleep deprivation make them worse. Not because something is wrong, but because an overstimulated brain makes more mistakes during shutdown. It's harmless. It's common. It's still annoying every single time.
Has Kyrie texted you
Oh,
back?
come on.
I don't wanna
Fighting
talk about it.
ads, bro.
How was the math test?
Don't want to talk about it.
Come on now.
You need to talk to somebody. I talked to
Sleep inertia.
Good job, you two.
Your
I just
alarm
lost
goes
one of my
off.
only 4 viewers.
You turn it off. You attempt to function like a human being. And for the next 10 to 30 minutes, you basically can't. That's sleep inertia. The technical term for the period of impaired cognition, slowed reaction times, and general brain deadness immediately.
No, I've been there. You guys have ever had like real slow down reaction time? Not even just like, oh, okay, I realize. But no, like you genuinely have went all day. You're like, oh, this is sleep inertia.
After waking. Here's the thing. Waking up is not instant. Your brain doesn't go from fully asleep to fully operational in a single step. Cerebral blood flow is still low. Adenosine, a chemical that builds up during wakefulness and drives sleepiness, hasn't cleared yet. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles decision-making and rational thought, is
I heard that doesn't develop fully until you're 25. Can I get a fact check on that?
one of the last regions to come back online. The result is that for a window after waking, your cognitive performance is measurably worse than if you had stayed awake all night. Surgeons woken from sleep to perform emergency procedures have documented this. Pilots have crashed planes in this window.
Yo, but shout out to those actual surgeons who be out there, bro. They be doing it like 2-day surgeries, bro. That's insane. They be doing 48-hour long surgeries, bro. That's insane. 48 hours and got to sit down the whole time. I'd be shitty. As my manager joins the live. That's crazy.
It usually clears in 15 to 30 minutes for most people. It can last up to 4 hours after forced awakening
what's going
from
on,
deep
guys?
sleep. So when you make a terrible decision first thing in the morning, it might not be you. It might just be that your brain was still technically
Hey, I want to use that though. I'm gonna tell people I'm sorry. I'm still in inertia.
asleep. False awakening.
Yo,
You
what's
wake
going on,
up,
Alexis?
get out of bed, walk to the bathroom, start getting ready, and then you actually wake up. False awakenings are exactly what they sound like. You dream that you've woken up and begun your day when
I've so done that. I've so done that. Have you dreamed that you literally have already started your day and then you woke up back in your fucking bed? Nah, bro, because that's so
enough
real.
realism that you have no idea you're still asleep. Sometimes it happens multiple times in a row, a loop of fake mornings before the real one.
But he said I never wake up. My butane's still on. Holy shit. Remember when I hit that dab, guys? My butane stayed on that entire time. I just smelt it. We about just blew the fuck up, no lie.
They occur most often during REM sleep, which is when dreaming is most vivid and the brain most closely mimics waking consciousness. The brain runs such a convincing
Yo,
simulation
Corey.
of your
What up, coach? We're going to get that pod in soon, I swear.
bedroom and morning routine that it fools itself. The experience is heavily associated with sleep paralysis
Cody, you gotta
and
wake up,
lucid
buddy.
dreaming, and tends to cluster when sleep is disrupted, irregular, or when the person has been actively
Yes,
thinking about
sir.
sleep
Yes, sir.
and
I'm ready too,
dreaming
man.
before
I got to get
bed.
him to
What
Indiana
makes
soon.
false awakenings unsettling isn't the experience itself. It's the unreliability of waking up. If it's happened once, there's a moment
Yo,
in
new
the
slump
real
teas,
morning
new slump
where you
teas,
can't be
guys.
entirely sure this one is real either. Some lucid dreamers use them
Bro, I
as
still
an
smell
entry point.
butane.
If you're experienced enough to recognize the signs inside the dream, a false awakening can be converted into a fully conscious, controlled dream. Most people just
I've done that too, bro. Have you guys ever been able to just like, feel yourself in your dream? Like you're still dreaming, you're aware you're dreaming, but you can move every finger. You can walk on the rocks, bro. I've done that.
find them
I won't tell you what I did in that dream.
disorienting. Sleep talking. You're completely unconscious. Your brain is partially cycling through sleep stages, and apparently you have some things to say.
Oh, you had to go
Sleep
to the
talking,
store, bro?
formerly called somniloquy, affects around 66% of
There's a
people at
butane
some
leak
point in their
somewhere,
lives.
guys.
It's most common in children and tends to decrease with age, though plenty of adults do it too, often without knowing.
Bro,
The
butane,
content is
dude.
almost always meaningless.
Yo, what's going on,
Fragments,
Mason?
half sentences, occasional words delivered with complete conviction. Rarely coherent enough to hold a conversation with, though people do try, and
Me. And people do fucking try. They'll wake up and just be like, so do you want to go to the store today? We need to make a grocery list. But what I fucking heard was, so do we have someone to walk a fish? Who's walking a fucking fish? What do you mean? Get out of my room.
sometimes get responses that sound almost logical. It happens across multiple sleep stages, not just REM. During lighter stages, it can sound relatively clear. During deep, slow-wave sleep, it tends to be more garbled and emotionally flat. Here's the question everyone wants answered.
Yo, what's going on?
Can you
Noah?
extract real information from someone talking in their sleep? Almost never. The content doesn't reliably
walk-
reflect
Hold on,
actual
buddy. We got a walker here. I walk my fish sometimes.
thoughts, memories,
I'm gonna let that slide.
or secrets. The brain isn't running a conscious monologue. It's producing verbal fragments from partially
What's going
active
on, Ethan?
networks. It's more common during periods of stress, fever, sleep deprivation, and in people who also sleepwalk. It's not harmful. It's not a sign of anything wrong.
I didn't use. Okay, let me refrain. I did used to sleepwalk, but it would always lead, and you can ask my brother. It would always lead to me pissing in the trash can. I was a child, but I would be like 7 years old. I'd be sleepwalking, go to the kitchen, open the trash can, and just start pissing. I was like a child, bro. I was like 5, 7 years old. The real thing.
Wrong. It's just your brain leaving its microphone on. Hypnagogic
What's going on,
hallucinations.
Con?
You're not asleep yet, but you're seeing things. Hypnagogic hallucinations are sensory experiences that occur during the transition from wakefulness into sleep. Visual ones are most common. Flashes of light, faces, landscapes, geometric patterns that appear behind closed eyes. But they can be auditory too. Hearing
just
your
won't
name
die.
called,
That's so
a
crazy.
sudden sound, a voice saying something just coherent enough to be unsettling. They happen because the brain doesn't switch cleanly between states. As it starts generating the neural activity associated with dreaming, while the
He said, I was 10 and I pissed on the wall and I thought I was in the bathroom. On God. Nah, we've been there. We've all been there. Look, I drank a little too much. I did the same thing.
Conscious mind is still partially online. Those signals bleed through. You're awake enough to experience them, but not awake enough to immediately
What does Billy Madison say? You ain't cool unless you piss your pants.
dismiss them. Around 70% of people report experiencing these at some point. They're strongly associated with sleep deprivation, which makes the transition into sleep faster and less controlled. Here's the trap. Because they can be extreme.
Until you're driving. You guys ever been driving home? Driving home and all of a sudden you crack the window, right? Because people tell you that the air. So you crack the window. But then your body just fucking adjusts to it and there's nothing you can do about it.
Extremely vivid.
He said my buddy stood up drunk sleeping on the floor and pissed on my other friend sleeping on his own bed. Oh. I choose violence, brother.
And occur right
Every day and in the window or the music don't work.
at the edge of sleep.
Nah, you're
People
good.
sometimes misremember them as things that actually happened. You heard something, you saw something. Your brain just doesn't correctly timestamp it as a hallucination.
No, I do that all the time. You'd be like looking too fast and you think you saw something. And then you look again, it was never there. That's the type of shit to make you put life in perspective. Like, whoa. Simulation. Am I right?
Rather than a real event. They're also a core component of sleep paralysis episodes,
Yo, what's going on,
which is where they
Frank?
stop.
Oh,
When playing
Frank.
games
Oh,
on PC,
fuck
do you ever
me.
wonder if someone had a clip with you in it?
Download Metal, then go to album.
Yeah, I'm still not buying ad free, bro. I still will never buy ad free. I don't care if I blow up and make millions. I will never buy ad free.
And
$15 a fucking month for what, dude? I'll just skip that in 4 seconds.
same experience, different direction. These happen as you're waking up rather than falling asleep.
Yeah, there was almost violence for
Hypnopompic
sure,
hallucinations
bro.
occur as the brain transitions from REM sleep back to wakefulness, and the dreaming circuitry
What's going on,
doesn't
Reagan?
fully shut off before consciousness returns. The result is that dream content, visual, auditory, sometimes tactile, bleeds into the waking world. You might see a figure in the room, a spider on the wall, hear a voice or a sound, and unlike the pre-sleep version, you're conscious enough to be genuinely alarmed because it looks and feels
Man.
exactly like something real. They typically last seconds, occasionally a minute.
I see. And when people tell me that this has happened to them, I immediately think drugs. They're on drugs, bro. Is this a real thing? Like dead ass? Because it even says at 3 a.m., which something tells me that this is not real. Get it?
Or two, and they vanish the moment the brain fully transitions to wakefulness. Around 12% of people experience these regularly. They're more common in people with narcolepsy, irregular sleep schedules, and high stress. What makes them clinically interesting is how convincingly real they appear. Unlike most dreams, which are processed as dreams even while you're in them, hypnopompic hallucinations are indistinguishable
Hey, say that with me. Hypnopompic. Hold on.
real they appear. Unlike most dreams, which are processed as dreams even while you're in them, hypnopompic
Hypnopompic hallucinations.
are indistinguishable from reality in the moment. The brain's reality checking systems are still coming back online. There's a
What made me choose this topic today? Well, you work with me. There's been a lot going on today. Come on now.
gap with a hallucination
Say it's right there at the bottom. Hypnopompic hallucinations.
is all there is. Sleep paralysis, you wake up and you cannot move. Not stiff, not groggy, completely
I wake up stiff 90% of the time.
paralyzed. And there is something in the room. Sleep paralysis occurs when remitonia, the mechanism that paralyzes your muscles during dreaming so you don't act them out, persists after you've regained consciousness. You're awake. Your brain knows it. Your body hasn't gotten the signal to unlock you.
And that's usually when my alarm clock is going for fucking 40 minutes, bro. It literally will not stop until the fuck up, bro. And sometimes I'll be awake and I'm just not up enough to get the fuck up and turn it off. So I'll literally sit there and listen to it for 5 fucking minutes.
Yet. That lasts anywhere from seconds to a couple of minutes. It feels much longer. The presence is the part nobody is prepared for. A significant
He said, what kind of stiff? You know what I'm talking about.
percentage of people who experience sleep paralysis also report the feeling of a figure in the room, watching,
What's going on, Devin?
sometimes pressing on the chest, occasionally perceived as malevolent. This has been documented across cultures, centuries, and continents.
They're lying, bro. If you woke up and saw that fucking thing, don't you think you would like post it on Snapchat or something, bro?
Which is why virtually every culture has a different name for the same experience. The old hag, the incubus, the shadow person. All sleep paralysis, the presence is generated by the brain's threat detection system. Paralyzed and unable to investigate, your brain concludes
I thought that was your frontal forte or your frontal, you know, that thing that doesn't develop until you're 20 fucking 5.
something must be causing the paralysis and generates a corresponding hallucination. Around 20% of people experience it at least once. It's not
Comment if you have. If you guys have ever seen a real, genuine hallucination, because I really don't believe in that. I think that people who say that they have seen some shit like that are definitely smoking crack.
not dangerous. It ends on its own. That doesn't make it any less awful while it's happening. Exploding head syndrome. You're almost asleep, and then an enormous bang goes off inside your head. Not a headache. Not a sound from outside. A loud crash, a gunshot, a cymbal smash that exists entirely inside your skull and jolts you fully awake with your heart pounding. Exploding head syndrome is real. It has a
No one
clinical
cares,
name,
buddy. You're
and it
ugly.
affects around 10% of people. Despite how alarming it sounds and feels, it is completely harmless. The leading theory is that it's a glitch during the brain's shutdown process.
And that's what they say when they don't have an explanation for something. They just call it a glitch. Oh, sorry. Did you just wake up with a loud bang in your fucking head for no reason? It's a glitch.
As the brain powers down for sleep, it normally quiets sensory processing gradually. Sometimes that process misfires, and instead of a gradual fade, auditory neurons discharge all at once. Your brain interprets this as a massive sound. There's no actual bang, no physical event, just a mass of neurons firing simultaneously and your auditory cortex doing its job, which is to interpret neural signals as sound.
Someone order a college degree program?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can make $1 million and I will never buy ad free because it's 4 seconds long.
Periods of sleep deprivation and high stress. Some people experience it rarely, once or twice in their lives. Others get it in clusters,
Got to
several
drive
times a night
home.
for a
Now, later,
period,
Nate.
and then nothing for
Later, buddy. Have a good day.
months. It sounds catastrophic. It causes no damage. The only real problem is that once you know it can happen, falling asleep becomes slightly more nerve-wracking. Confusional arousals. Someone shakes you
I've been confused and aroused.
awake. You open your eyes, and for the next several minutes, you have absolutely no idea what's happening, where you are, or why the person in front of you is talking. Confusional arousals happen when someone is woken abruptly from deep, slow-wave sleep, the deepest, hardest to rouse stage. The brain comes partially online, but doesn't fully transition to wakefulness. The result is a person who appears awake, but is operating with severely impaired cognition and often no memory of the episode afterward. Behavior during confusional arousals ranges from quiet disorientation to agitation, aggressive responses, or saying things that make no sense, delivered with total
Yeah, I think we've all been in a state of confusional arousal. I think we've all been kind of irritated, more so on edge when we are either slept or just waking up. I think that's a very common state that everybody wakes up in or
confidence.
goes to bed too, almost.
Partners who have tried to wake someone in this state often describe it as alarming, like the person is there but completely unreachable. The episode typically lasts a few minutes. Occasionally longer. The person usually has no recollection of it the next morning. It's most common in children, which is why young kids can wake screaming in apparent distress and have no idea why in the morning. It also occurs in adults, particularly with sleep deprivation, alcohol, and irregular schedules. Like sleepwalking, it's a disorder of arousal. The brain gets partway out of sleep and gets stuck there briefly. Nocturnal leg cramps and myoclonus. Two different things, both happen while you're trying.
Oh my god, I think we cope and call it a Charlie horse, but I'll be definitely like when I'm hitting that shit from the back and stroking it long, bro. This is exactly what happens to my leg.
to sleep. Both are deeply unpleasant. Nocturnal leg cramps are involuntary muscle contractions, usually in the calf, that hit during sleep or the transition into it. They're sudden, they're painful, and they can last anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes. The muscle seizes, and the only way to resolve it is to stretch it out, which is difficult when you were just
No, you're
asleep. The cause isn't fully understood. Contributing factors include dehydration, electrolyte
if y'all just saw the text I just got, oh my god, there goes my whole setup.
imbalances, prolonged sitting, overexertion, and certain medications. They become more common with age. Myoclonus is different. That's the sudden, brief, shock-like muscle jerks that can occur during sleep. Hypnic jerks are a form of this. But myoclonus
I told you I hypno jerk.
can also present as repeated rhythmic twitching across a limb or the whole body. Sleep myoclonus in isolation is usually benign. Here's the thing. Both conditions interrupt sleep architecture, meaning even if you don't fully wake, the movement pulls you into a lighter stage. You can have dozens of these events per night without remembering any of them and still feel completely unrested in the morning. Your body kept waking itself up and you have no idea. Microsleeps. You're awake, and then for 2 to 30 seconds, you're not. And
I got a coworker actually who can just sit at his desk and fall asleep. If you say sleep, if you say the word sleep, he's probably snoring by the time you finish it. And it's weird. It's so weird because you can say his name and he never fell asleep.
back, and you have no idea it happened. Microsleeps are involuntary episodes of sleep that occur while a person appears to be awake. The eyes may be open, the person may be sitting upright. To an outside observer, they might look briefly zoned out. Internally, consciousness has simply vanished for a moment. EEG studies confirm it. The brain shows sleep stage activity, full stop, then returns to wakefulness. They're caused by sleep deprivation, and they are one of the most dangerous consequences of it. Microsleeps are responsible for a significant portion of drowsy driving crashes, industrial accidents, and medical errors. The person at the wheel doesn't feel tired. They don't realize they're impaired. They're just suddenly 2 seconds further down the road.
I was talking about this earlier, and it's so crazy that he brings it up because I do that all the time. I will be driving. I will literally be driving, minding my own business. Sorry. I will literally be your own business, and this is exactly what happens. And then people try to say like, "Oh, just roll down the window and let the wind hit." Nah, bro, my body just adjusts and adapts, and that's who I am now. And then the radio, I just we just did the ear test. Yeah, I can't trust that.
With no memory of the gap. The terrifying part is that you cannot detect your own microsleeps. By definition, you're unconscious when they happen.
Sorry, chat. I'm gonna be right back.
You only find out through external observation or the consequences. Studies on sleep-deprived individuals show microsleeps beginning after as little as 17 hours without sleep. That's not an extreme case. That's a long day.
That's a
REM
long
rebound.
day, brother.
You've had a bad run of sleep, a few nights of too little or alcohol suppressing your dream cycles, or a medical reason your REM
Yeah, I'll tell you this much: alcohol amplifies my dream cycles. Because I'm an active marijuana user. I use it probably 14 to 18 times a day. When I'm done, I will finally go to bed. But I will never go to bed until I smoke. But when I do drink, and I only bring up the marijuana because people always tend to say that people who smoke tend to dream less. Very true, because your brain fog is at an all-time high. You're sitting there, you're on the max sleep comfort zone that you can get into. You're in the most the coziest state of mind that you've ever been in, and then. And so when you drink alcohol, all that goes out the window because now you're just, I don't want to say the R word. You're just drooling on yourself, passed out underneath a lawn chair in someone's backyard thinking that you're going to be the shit the next day. No, you're probably going to have to shit the next day. That's my point.
sleep has been cut short. Then you finally get a full, uninterrupted night, and the dreams are like nothing you've ever experienced.
New
REM
tank, who
rebound
dis?
is your brain catching up. When REM sleep is consistently suppressed or reduced, the brain accumulates a deficit. The moment it gets the opportunity, it dramatically increases the proportion of sleep spent in REM. producing longer, more vivid, more emotionally intense dreams than usual. This is why people who quit alcohol after heavy use report bizarre, overwhelming dreams in the first weeks of sobriety.
Yes, my dad
Alcohol
did
almost
all the time.
entirely suppresses REM. When it's removed, the brain goes into overdrive trying to recover what it lost. The same thing happens after any sustained period of poor sleep. The first good night hits differently because the brain is running the REM stage at elevated intensity.
Wham wham.
Abraham
knew
Lincoln
it.
united
As
a
soon as I
nation
started
that was
talking, I
deeply
felt
divided.
it in my
He gave
bones, brother. I felt it in my fucking bones. It was gonna happen.
journey begin.
Dreams during REM rebound tend to be more emotionally charged, stranger, and more memorable than usual. Some people find them disturbing, others find them fascinating. Either way, they're a signal that your brain was running a sleep debt and it is now collecting. Night terrors. This is not a nightmare. A nightmare is a frightening dream that you wake from with memory of what scared you. Night terrors are something else entirely.
Is that when, before we get into it, is it when you're actually, and I guess we have the stages in front of us, because I was going to ask, is that when you're actually awake, having like a really bad dream, and because you're awake, you're visualizing the dream?
Occur during deep, slow-wave sleep, not REM.
All right. So we're asleep.
The person appears to wake, sitting up, eyes open.
So they're not awake? They just look like it? Because
Screaming or crying with a heart rate that can reach 180 beats per minute. Complete physiological panic, and they are essentially not conscious. You cannot comfort someone during a night terror in the way you would during a nightmare. They're not fully awake. They
That
can't
scares
process
me.
your presence normally.
That's so scary,
Attempts
bro.
to hold or restrain them can actually make the episode more intense. The standard guidance is to stay nearby, keep them from hurting themselves, and wait. The episode typically lasts between 30 seconds and 5 minutes. And here's the part that makes them so strange.
I feel like something like that, though, that's a big gap. I feel like that's something that definitely needs to be looked at more. If people are genuinely sitting up, sleep, sitting on the end of their bed, bawling their eyes out, screaming and shaking and just being so frightful to life, bro, in that moment. And it's dangerous to wake them up. You can't even stop what's happening to them. You kind of just have to wait it out. That needs looked at more. I think there needs to be way more studies on that rather than fucking sending your 4-year-old to transgender fucking doctors and getting them switched up. Like, why is there studies on transforming children rather than people who can't even sleep at night?
When it's
Sorry, ramble.
over, the person usually goes straight back to sleep. The next morning, they remember nothing. They're most common in children between 3 and 8, and most kids outgrow them.
Nah, bro. Okay, and is that why we're not looking into it? Is because people just outgrow it? Imagine how terrified those fucking children are.
Who experience them are more likely to do so during periods of sleep deprivation, stress, fever, or when sleeping in unfamiliar environments. The person inside the terror is in extreme distress. They have no memory of it whatsoever. Both of those things are true at the same time. Sleepwalking. The brain is capable of navigating your home, unlocking doors, preparing food, and in some documented cases driving a car, while the person doing all of it is completely asleep. Sleepwalking is a disorder of arousal. The same
You can actually drive a car while sleepwalking? That's fucking insane.
family as confusional arousals and night terrors. It happens during deep, slow-wave sleep when the brain partially activates the motor system while consciousness remains off. The result is purposeful-looking
What's up,
movement
Anthony?
with no awareness behind it. Sleepwalkers are not acting out dreams. That's a common misconception.
Okay.
Dream enactment happens in
But like he just said, they can actually walk, drive cars, go to their fucking fridge, everything, as if they were awake, but they're fully unconscious.
REM. Sleepwalking happens
I mean, it's a real thing. I just never, I've never experienced it
in
myself.
slow-wave sleep when dreaming is minimal. Whatever the sleepwalker is doing, it's not connected to a dream narrative. The brain just started doing something.
Have you ever
Episodes range
sleptwalked?
from sitting up in bed to full complex behaviors lasting several minutes. The person typically has no memory of it. They can appear awake.
Man, I used to do some wild things sleepwalking growing up. I think the only thing I ever did was piss into the trash can when I was like 7 years old. But that was just a short thing. I don't think I've ever drove cars or nothing. Like,
To an observer,
let me know. What's the craziest shit?
their eyes may be open. They may respond to simple instructions, but they are not there. The old advice about not waking sleepwalkers being dangerous is mostly myth. Waking them can cause brief confusion, but it's not harmful. The real risk is that they'll injure themselves navigating an environment without full awareness. Lucid dreaming. At some point during a dream, something clicks. You realize you're dreaming, and then you're awake inside it. Lucid dreaming is the state of being conscious and aware within a dream. It occurs during REM sleep and has been scientifically confirmed through a neat trick. Researchers asked participants to signal when they became lucid by moving their eyes in a pre-agreed pattern. The eye signals, one of the few things not paralyzed during REM, appeared in the EEG record at the exact moment participants reported becoming conscious in the dream.
Wow.
It's real. The brain is simultaneously
That's so cool, though, bro. If you think about it, that's so fucking cool, though.
in REM sleep and aware of that fact. Around 55% of people report experiencing at least one lucid dream in their lifetime. Regular lucid dreamers, people who experience it frequently and with control, are far rarer. The experience varies widely. Some people simply become aware they're dreaming and observe. Others achieve significant control over the dream environment, essentially generating any experience they want. The degree of control varies by individual and by practice. There are established techniques for inducing it. Reality testing during
If I could control my dreams on a regular basis, I would never, ever wake up.
waking hours, checking your hands, or reading text repeatedly throughout the day. Wake back to bed, where you sleep for a few hours. Wake briefly, then return to sleep to enter REM more directly. MILD technique, setting a mental intention to recognize the dream state before falling asleep. It's the one glitch on this list you might actually want to have.
W video. Bro.
Imagine being